Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome to Off the Cup with Hoppy and Hobbs.
Solid.
We brought some of our friends today to watch the show. And you may know them, you may not.
If you don't know them.
That music ended really fast.
And music's over.
So, that guy over there is...
I'm Hoppy.
It's not nice to point.
Yes.
This guy is Hobbs.
That's Hobbs.
Hey, if you like the show...
Which you do, by the way. Your stats are amazing.
Like, share, subscribe, please, because we want to get a little bit bigger because we are global, but we're looking at going galactic.
Oh, my goodness. Universal. Other galaxies. Why not?
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah. So we got lots of stuff to talk about today. We're going to dive straight into the baseball talk. A lot of baseball talk today. First off, Hoppy, I'm going to throw this one to you.
Uh-oh. So quick, dude.
I know, we're going for it.
Go.
This week, we had two people pass. One was Don Sutton, who I remember growing up as a kid. He was the white-haired guy pitching for the Angels.
Right.
And I believe he got to 300 wins.
Yeah, 317.
Doesn't happen very often in baseball. And it was a sad day because baseball mourns the loss of Don Sutton. I don't know if he was ever a super dominating pitcher, but he went out there, he got the innings, he got W's.
Yeah, no, he just went out there and did it like it was his job.
Yeah.
You know?
And then the more, I hate to say it's like more
We're not
important.
Grading. Yeah.
Because we're not grading, but the passing of Hank Aaron, I think, hits everybody really hard because he was such a shining light in the baseball world.
Yeah, and I mean, he broke the unbreakable record. You know, he beat Babe Ruth's record. And Babe Ruth is, always will be baseball. You know, the power hitting, and he broke that record.
And he had to deal with a whole bunch of idiots while he was doing it.
Yes.
And it was very, very, very disheartening.
You know, you look at Jackie Robinson and everything he went through, and then, you know, Hank Aaron, here he is, he's chasing Babe Ruth's record, and he even said, he goes, that time was really, really difficult because he still had to go out and play. And he wasn't out there to break Babe Ruth's record. He was out there to be a baseball player. You look at his stats, and then, I mean, I don't know if you're a stat rat, you know, if you're at home and you're like, ooh, look at all these greats. When you look at Hank Aaron's stats, you're like, this is ridiculous, ridiculously good. And you realize how consistent he was year after year after year.
21 All-Star teams. He made the All-Star game 21 times.
Yeah, he didn't make it his rookie year in 1954, and then he didn't make it his last year in 1976. Every other year, he was an All-Star.
That's amazing.
54 to 76, and he was an All-Star from 55 to 75. 20 straight years an All-Star. That's ridiculous.
That's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. What he meant to the game, he transcended the game. He basically brought it to everyone, just like Jackie Robinson did, and he did it in the most amazing way.
And he was class, too.
People loved him.
Yeah. You know, you say a lot of time, oh, you know, he was a great guy. Hank Aaron, everybody you talk to goes, this was as genuine as a person as you could get. You know, I was reading a bunch of stuff, and, you know, Tom House, the pitching guy, you know, he caught the home run in the bullpen in Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta. And he goes, you know, like before the game, they're playing cards together. He goes, Hank Aaron is an icon, and I'm a relief pitcher, and we're playing cards. He goes, he treated everybody with so much respect that you felt like you were on his level. He didn't come down to your level. He brought you up to his level. So, you know, you're going to hear stories, but they're genuine.
Yeah.
They're genuine. So, but I just wanted to jump into his stats real quick because it's unbelievable. He's the all-time leader in RBIs. All-time leader in total bases, Major League history.
That's amazing.
So he had 755 home runs, right? If you take 755 home runs off his hit total, he still has 3,000 hits.
Ooh, that's amazing.
So you take out just the home runs, he's still got 3,200 hits. It's crazy. Crazy. Consistency. Okay, so when everyone says, okay, I want to hit, 800 home runs, how many home runs do I have to hit for how many years, right? Here's a cup check for you. Cup check.
Yep. Check.
Name the most home runs Hank Aaron hit in one season. Remember, he played 22.
37.
No. More.
Oh, 42.
Almost.
43?
47.
40. That's a lot of home runs back then.
But that's the most he ever hit. I mean, guys are hitting 50, 60, 70 home runs now. The most he ever hit in one season was 47. He was 37 years old.
Man, I suck at cup check.
It's all right.
You made it sound like it was super low.
Well, in today's age, everybody's hitting 40.
Yeah.
But he did it for 20 straight years.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, that's incredible. He was 37.
Yeah, and he was really an ambassador after he was done.
Yes.
Father figure to many.
Chipper Jones and Dale Murphy, they just and Freddie Freeman, they can't rave enough about how he influenced them being the face of the Braves, because that was really, generationally as you went through the line, Dale Murphy, Chipper Jones, Freddie Freeman, and here's Hank Aaron as your go-to guy to like, hey, how do I represent this organization? Just an amazing person, amazing ball player, and it's a sad day for baseball.
It's a sad day for our country. It's a sad day for anybody that's been involved in baseball.
Yeah.
But the one positive is we get to go back and talk about it.
Yeah.
Like everybody gets to relive his life. And it's been great to see all the headlines and the stories and read all the stuff.
Oh, my Facebook feed, everybody's posting.
Yeah.
Everybody. It's not just one or two. It's everybody. So
it's wonderful. So
Hammer and Hank, man.
rest in peace.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Well, they got so this one. Okay, so you got Babe Ruth and Hank Aaron up in baseball heaven right now. Who's batting fourth?
I don't know, but I'm sure there's a Bernie Sanders meme in there somewhere.
Oh God! No, dude, I was cracking up about all.
There's some mittens in between the two of them. I think Bernie might be batting fourth, and they're batting third and fifth.
I can't even tell you the ones I was dying, dude.
So we have. I wanted to get into the Don Sutton, the Hank Aaron thing first, but we do have a packed show for you. We're going to go through some serious MLB transactions that happened this week, probably about 6 or 7 of them, and then we're going to dive in to the free agents that are still available, and we're going to do it in a way that nobody's ever seen before.
Never.
So we've been talking about how there's enough free agents to start an expansion team. Well, today we're going to pick 2 expansion teams.
We're going big.
And we're gonna draft them, and we're gonna talk about the players, and then we're gonna show you how you can build your own major league franchise right now. Expansion team out of free agents.
You just need a ton of money.
So first, we're gonna talk a little Padres because we never talk about the Padres.
Never.
Respect. San Diego, brown and gold. This week, the Padres pulled off a blockbuster, bringing in a guy that they think is on the rise, even though I believe it's his last year before free agency.
Yeah.
They brought in El Cajon native Joe Musgrove.
Joe Musgrove, East County. What? Hey,
Yo.
I'm telling you what. Him coming over was very, very interesting because as soon as he got traded to the Padres, everyone started talking about Lamet, how he's hurt. But then AJ comes and says, "We're just getting quality pitching. You can never have enough quality pitching," and Joe Musgrove is a guy, he's a competitor, man. He's a bulldog on the mound, and he's going to fit into that clubhouse chemistry very, very well. And he's an important part because as much as we talk about Gore and Weathers and Marrejon, they're still puppies. You bring in a guy who's got experience and has been successful, and he's a guy you can rely on, And he's just starting.
Yeah, and he fills the Clevenger gap for this year.
He definitely does. He's going to go out there. He's going to get you your innings. He's going to be 3 to 4 earned run average, and you don't have to really worry about that because you got the Padres lineup getting runs for you.
Right, and the Padres believe that he's actually better than that ERA when they put their defense behind him.
Correct.
So they're thinking that he could be a a 2.5 to 3.5 guy.
And if you get that out of Joe Musgrove,
out of the back end of the rotation.
Oh, is your 4 or 5? Wow.
And the problem is you're never going to be able to re-sign him, but that's okay.
Yeah, you want him to be okay. But, honestly, I think at this point, why would you want to leave San Diego?
The Padres are going for it.
Yeah.
They're going for it. And when we talk about what they gave up, yes, they gave up, I think, 4 or 5 players, but none of the top, I believe, 10 prospects. I think they still have their top 7 prospects intact. Mm-hmm. The 7 guys that are in the MLB top 100, they didn't trade.
They didn't trade them.
And they got rid of a pitcher that they demoted to the alternate site last year, and they didn't want anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. The trade's interesting because really the Pirates made out like champs on this deal. Okay. They give up Joe Musgrove, right? And they give the Mets a catcher, Eddie Rodriguez. Then the Padres send Joey Lucchesi to the Mets. So the Mets get Lucchesi for Rodriguez.
It's a good deal.
It's a good deal,
they need
right?
Starting pitching.
And Lucchesi's going to go out.
He doesn't throw the ball straight.
No. I mean, he's going to go. He's going to compete. He's going to get you innings. He's going to be, a 5-inning guy. And he's a lefty. Then the Pirates, so they got Rodriguez from the Mets, but then they get Bednar, who's 95, 97, big hoss. Hudson Head, center fielder, who the Padres liked. Mm-hmm. And then right-hand pitcher Drake Fellows, left-hand pitcher Omar Cruz. So really the Pirates get 5 guys, a couple guys with major league experience for Musgrove. That's a hell of a deal for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Right, Bednar could be a back-end rotation guy for a guy that's going to leave after that. For Musgrove, who's going to leave after the year anyway. So ended up being a good deal.
So it was, all around, the Mets need pitching. They got pitching. The Padres wanted Musgrove. They got Musgrove. And the Pirates want prospects and some guys with a little experience, and that's what they got. So a good trade all around, and the Padres got their guy, the Mets got their guy, and the Pirates got their prospects. Good deal. Good trade.
Yeah, not bad.
I like
so the Padres are looking to be set in their starting rotation. Who knows? Maybe still might go get Tanaka. I mean, you never know. But and it looks like they're kind of standing pat. Maybe they'll try to bring in another relief pitcher. I don't know. They've got so many pitchers on the bullpen.
Yeah.
They might just stand pat and wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
I think they believe in their guys.
This is truly unprecedented for the Padres because you've got so many good options now. Before you had a bunch of guys.
Yeah, you're just rolling out guys. We hope this guy does well. We hope this guy does well. Now they've got proven talent. And even the bullpen that they have with the guys they brought in from Seattle, they're proven major league players. Some of them thrown, like the hardest throwing guy they got from Seattle wasn't even the closer. Adams was the closer, and Altavia throws like 97. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's not bad, and you're not even thinking about those guys when you're thinking about the bullpen because you had Rosenthal and Yates in there too, and then had walked away. So it's like. Yeah. Everybody thinks they need another reliever, but in reality, they still have 2-3 closers on their staff.
Correct.
Adams, Pomeranz, and
Pagan, yeah. I mean, you lose Yates and Rosenthal, and you still have a pretty damn good bullpen. Now, would I like to see Rosenthal in the Padres again? Hell yes.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you just roll Ryan Weathers into the bullpen? You saw what he could do, and you got Gore that could be your long reliever transitioning into the big leagues.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean,
but that's the thing is there's so many good options now.
Yeah.
That the Padres haven't. I don't think they've ever had this much to pull from.
No, they've built their franchise.
Yeah.
Like they are ready to go for it.
Yeah.
It's like they put themselves in a position. So even if one of the starting pitchers or one of the relievers gets hurt, the next guy up is better than the guys that they had 3 years ago.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Because we're not even talking about Chris Paddock right now.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Your number one starter, that started the season for you. He's looked at as a 4 or 5 or a long guy right now.
Right, and just to add on to that, could he get back to throwing 96 miles an hour if they put him in a closer role? Mm-hmm. Because he's only throwing for 1 inning and just go out and give everything you got for 25 pitches?
Bring the sheriff in.
Like all of a sudden he's the closer and you've got your new Hell's Bells going on and everybody's going crazy because everybody wants to see Paddock.
Well, Drew Pomeranz is a perfect example of that. Perfect. He was a starter forever, and then the Boston makes him a reliever, and he's throwing gas.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, "Okay, I got to pace myself for a second, I'm going to go and blow it out for an inning." I mean, these are options. It's crazy.
It's pretty amazing.
I love it.
I mean,
I really want the season to start today.
Yeah, based on that, everything that's been said, Major League Baseball is planning on starting spring training on time, doing a full spring training and a full season. So, and like they're expecting to have people in the stands, which is even more amazing.
Yeah.
So, hopefully that happens. But it's pretty amazing what the Padres have got going on the pitching front. We already know about everything that's going on in the fielding, except there was one transaction this week. The Padres brought up their super utility man. They signed him back. They brought back Profar on 3 years, $21 million.
It's a good deal
With opt-outs after the first and second year.
Yeah, that's a good contract for both sides because it gives them leverage. And you know, God, you can't say this enough. Thank you, Padres ownership, and thank you, AJ Preller. You know, I mean, we've been hearing trust the process for how many years, and now you're seeing what an ownership group that decides to open up the checkbook a little bit and giving your general manager the freedom to do what needs to be done to win a championship. They're doing it. There are no questions anymore.
Right. So, and when you take a look at what they have, they essentially have 11 starters to play 8 positions.
Yeah. Profar, we call him our utility guy. Do you realize for like the last 5 years, he's been the number one prospect? Everybody wanted Profar. Every trade talk with any team with the Rangers was Profar, right. Profar. And we have him.
Right.
I mean, we tried to get him 5 years ago.
Right, and he essentially was the starting left fielder for most of the season. He started as the starting second baseman until Cronenworth, and so they brought him back. They still have Cronenworth. They brought in the player from Korea. They brought in the catcher from the Cubs. They essentially brought in 3 starting position players to be their bench.
Yeah. I mean, your options, you don't skip a beat. And you look at the teams that have won championships, the Dodgers, the Red Sox, Astros, guys that they brought in, you didn't take a step down. It was equal or better. And the Padres have that now.
Right. So they can essentially take their whole infield can take a day off, and they can bring 4 starting players into the infield.
And you shouldn't skip a beat.
With I'm not even going to try to pronounce the new Korean player's name right now, but with him, Profar, Cronenworth, Nola, they all play infield.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
that's what's crazy is you can put 2 good
any
teams
position.
all over the place. I mean, I say options a lot. Yeah. As a manager, when you don't have options, you're sink or swim with the guys out there.
Yeah. So the one place they might be a little weak is in their outfield depth.
Depth, yes.
In their outfield depth, yeah.
But Cronenworth, go to left. You know?
Maybe.
Nola, go to left.
Maybe. So that might be
Myers, scoot over center.
That might be the one place that we see a little bit of action. And when we take a look at how many outfilders there
I'm fired up for my team.
It's going to be pretty amazing. So that's what the Padres have going on. So we have some really good transactions.
So Musgrove.
Yes.
Happy you're here, man.
Yeah.
Profar, I'm glad you're back. I heard you're a big chemistry guy. Love it.
Oh, and the smile.
Oh,
the smile that when you get Profar and Tatis together when they're playing on the field. Oh, that's beautiful.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Respect.
San
Diego. Respect. How do you spell respect?
R. E. I can't do the rest.
You can't do the rest.
Oh, you Adam Sandler fans out there, go for it.
Oh, you gave away the joke.
I know.
If they know, they know.
I know, but now I want them to laugh with us.
All right. So, big deal that happened this week. Springer left the Astros as a free agent, signs with the Blue Jays for 6 years, $150. Was that in line with what we expected?
Yeah, I think so. I think the 150 is probably the Canadian conversion rate. I was thinking more like 120, like $20 million a year.
Well, I think this is in dollars. No.
I understand. But no, I think that's a good deal. 6 years shows commitment by Toronto. Of course, Springer wants, to be comfortable where he's at. He wanted to be closer to home. I guess he's from Connecticut. But no, I mean, that's a good deal. You're bringing in a proven winner and a proven ball player. I mean, he is a very good defensive outfielder. And you put him in that lineup now.
All right. Ooh. Here we go.
Oh, God.
Cup check. Will Springer challenge for the home run title because he gets to hit in Toronto?
Ooh.
Will he hit 50 plus?
Will he hit 50?
Yeah.
No.
No
No.
to 50 home runs.
No.
40.
I say 40.
40 home runs.
45.
Yeah.
I'm going 45.
Toronto, man, that's a place to hit.
Yeah, and with as many dangerous young weapons they have in that lineup, he's going to be right in the mix of that.
So you go from this giant center field area in Houston to all the small ballparks in the AL East.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Yeah. 45.
45.
But I mean,
I'm writing that down.
But he's going to be like 310. He's going to be 310, 45. Ooh. He might be 100.
Oh, he might be a Hall of Famer then.
No.
He will be if he does that for 6 years.
He might be MVP talks.
Yeah. If he hits 45, 310, 45 for 6 years, he'll be a Hall of Famer.
I think he's going to be real good.
That's 250 home runs, man.
Yeah, I know. But I think he's gonna like it there, you know. But again, you know, the good you're gonna have to battle the Yankees. Those are gonna be ball games.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to watch. So, and the Blue Jays pumped up their bullpen a little bit as well because they were the ones that went out and signed the 1-year deal for Kirby Yates.
Kirby Yates, and that's an interesting one, I think, but also his contract is, if you do good, I'm going to pay you. If you're adequate, we're going to pay you like an adequate reliever. He's a 1-year, $5 million deal with $4 million in incentives. So if he's kicking ass, then he's going to get paid. And so seeing the demeanor of Yates when he wants to get it done, I mean, he's fiery. So he's going to bring a lot of attitude to that bullpen. And I mean, Toronto's made some moves that you're like, okay, but then you go and you do Springer, you go and get Yates. You're bringing in winning and you're bringing in attitude.
Yeah, and with Yates, the stadium doesn't matter because he's a swing and miss guy and a ground ball guy because his ball's moving. Yeah. So if he's got the movement, it doesn't matter where he's playing. So he could be dominant anywhere. Mm-hmm. So if this ends up being where he wasn't, you know, he was really hurt last year and he couldn't pitch and he was able to return, this is a great deal for Toronto.
Yates led the league in saves.
That's
with
what I mean.
Padres.
This is a great move because they get the premier closer, and if they would be happy to pay $10 million for the premier closer, goes out and saves 40 games for
right. Definitely.
Because that puts them at the top of the AL East if Yates gets 35, 45 saves.
And traditionally, you know, when hitters switch leagues, they usually struggle to start. When pitchers switch leagues, they tend to do much, much better.
Yeah.
So Yates going over there, new stuff. Hitters haven't seen him. It's going to be a nice mix for Yates and Toronto.
Yeah, and then the other thing that happened is Michael Brantley was going to the Blue Jays. It was a done deal. Mm-hmm. And then 3 hours later, he re-signs with the Astros for 2 years, $32 million.
Yeah. I mean, $16 million a year.
That's a big deal.
That's a good deal.
It's like, oh, crap, we lost George Springer. We need an outfielder. We can't lose two.
We can't afford to lose another bat in our lineup.
So, essentially, George Springer got Brantley a great contract.
Yes, he did. Attaboy. Help him out.
So, he'll be returning to the Astros. A couple of minor deals that I want to talk about before we get into our expansion draft. One that could be a really powerful deal for Kansas City. They bring Wade Davis back on a minor league contract. So, he's going to be getting paid the minimum, essentially. Mm-hmm. And if he goes out and does what he needs to do in spring training, he's going to make the team, and he's going to be a big bullpen piece for the Royals.
Yeah, well, a big bullpen piece or another trade chip, just like Rosenthal did last year.
Yeah, well, if he really goes out and does good, then that's definitely a trade deadline move.
So depending on how the Royals do, as long as he goes out and is successful, then your money.
And then on top of that, we saw Shelby Miller get picked up on a low deal to the Cubs, which is really just a low-risk, high-reward type deal because 3-4 years ago, we're talking about one of the premier pitchers in baseball that was traded for Jason Hayward, and then in the Dansby Swanson deal, like this could be a big move.
Right. This for the Cubs. There's no loss in this. They bring him in a minor league deal. If he doesn't do well, you release him. If he comes out and he makes a ball club, all right, we got a dude that can do some stuff. So I'm gonna see if I can switch that up. So with him and the Cubs, if he goes out and tears it up, hey, what's he making? 600,000, right? Otherwise, is it no harm, no foul? Okay.
Yeah, and we'll look. I can't wait to see what happens. So now,
Yes.
the debut.
Yes.
So we're going to go through our free agents here. There is, if you look at this sheet, this is full of about 100+ players that are free agents still in Major League Baseball, and we're going to show you that Major League Baseball could expand 2 more teams of Major League players and still be successful because
wait for my team.
we're talking about all-star teams. So. Because I put the list together, I'm going to let Hoppy be the number 1 pick.
Yes.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pick 3 starting pitchers because we're essentially building a playoff roster.
Yes.
3 starting pitchers. We're going to go with 2 relief pitchers, 1 closer, and a single player from every position, including a DH. And so we've basically given everybody a single position, and we're going to pick 2 players from every position.
I'm going to be
starting-
loaded.
Oh, this team's going to be amazing, and I can't wait to see what happens here. So here we go. Hoppy, the first overall pick in the expansion draft.
Oh, my
Who
goodness.
do you go with?
Oh my God, this is like this could. All right, I'm going Trevor Bauer. First pick.
He picks Trevor Bauer.
Bauer.
With the first pick in the MLB expansion draft.
Yes, Bauer.
Whew, Bauer. All right. So because Hoppy picked a starting pitcher, I think I'm going to pick a starting pitcher. And I think if I was going to go head-to-head Bauer, I think I would go James Paxton.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
As my number 1 starter, the big lefty.
Nice.
Going to get stuff done. So now Trevor Bauer and James Paxton are off the board. So
Off the
we
board.
each picked a starting pitcher.
I got to make sure I mark that off, huh? Otherwise, I'll be picking. All right. I'm going to go closer.
He's going closer.
Yeah, I'm taking Trevor Rosenthal.
He picks Rosenthal. He goes
Come on,
closer.
Rosie.
He
That's
goes
what I'm talking
closer.
about.
Ooh, that's not a bad pick. Let's see.
Pitching.
He's going pitching. I'm going to go hitting with my next pick, and I'm going to go defense, and I'm picking Didi Gregorius.
Ooh. You know what? I was going to take him.
Now you're not.
Already.
So now we have two starters, a closer, and a shortstop off the board.
Okay. Man. Because this is a big pick to start off right now. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go. Do I go pitching again? Do I?
I don't know. It's your pick.
No. All right. First base.
He's going first baseman.
First baseman, and I am going Mitch Moreland.
How'd I know you were going to do that?
Mitch. I need my power.
Mitch.
I love Mitch.
And because I want to win some games and I like the veteran presence, I'm going to pick Masahiro Tanaka.
Oh. Well, there's your massive innings.
Yeah, so I've got James Paxton and Tanaka in my starting rotation for my 3-game series.
All right. Well, I'm gonna move to center field, and I'm gonna go ahead and take Gold Glover, Jackie Bradley Jr.
I knew you were going to make that
Yep.
pick.
Yeah.
I knew that. I knew that one was.
I'm gonna hit him 2.
You're going to hit him 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. And so because I want to make sure that I have a strong starting pitching staff,
He's loading up.
I'm loading up here. This is a tough one. I think I want another big righty that can give me some innings. So I'm going to pick Jake Arrieta. He can go out. And so my starting pitching staff on my expansion team is Jake Arrieta, Masahiro Tanaka, and James Paxton.
That's pretty good. You got a right, left, right.
Yeah, I'm looking pretty good there.
Mm-hmm. Good for you.
I feel good.
All right. I'm going to bring some more power to my lineup, and I'm going to go get Marcell Ozuna. Left fielder.
Left field.
So I got Ozuna and Bradley in my outfield right now.
All right, that's not bad. That's not a bad
not
choice.
bad at all.
So let me see here. I'm going to go with a guy that it fires up his team
Uh-oh.
and bats around 280 and gets all the clutch hits, and that's a third baseman. And I was going to pick Miguel Franco to play third because I assumed that you'd pick a third baseman before me, but you didn't, so I'm picking Justin Turner.
All right. Fine. Go ahead.
I did.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm going to stick with the bats, and I'm going to take the veteran Nelson Cruz to DH for me.
Oh, he's going with Nelson Cruz. So,
Yes.
So you went with a DH that doesn't really play in the field. So you don't get that reserve.
I don't care.
Oh, all right.
I want his bat.
All right. So that leaves me with probably should pick a second baseman or a right fielder here. So, I mean, if I want a guy that's going to be getting on base and doing good things, or do I want to go full on defense and just get the best defender? I'm not sure. I got to think about this a little bit.
This is a tough one.
This is a tough one. I know who I want at second. You're probably going to pick him. But I think I have to pick an outfielder because I need a little more bat. Oh, I'm stuck by two guys that's first names start with N. I'm not a big Nick Markakis fan, but he's been playing so well. But I kind of want Nomar Mazara.
Oh.
But I think I'm just because I'm putting together a veteran team that's going to play hard together. I'm going to pick Nick Markakis to play right field.
Okay. Markakis. All right. Well, I'm going to second base.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to give this guy a shot to start every day because I think he can do it. I'm going Greg Garcia.
I knew you were going to go
Greg
there.
Garcia. He's Cody.
Oh, and you know what? That just leads me into bringing in Colton Wong. So I have a Gold Glover
That's okay.
that gets clutch
Go
hits.
ahead. I'm going to take my 300 hitter.
Yeah, and I'm going to take my guy that makes every play except for one in the playoffs, and gets clutch hits all the time. So that's not bad. So you can go ahead and make your next pick.
Okay, my next pick. I'm going shortstop, and I'm going to take the 4-time Gold Glover, Alderson Simmons, to play shortstop for me.
Oh, there you go. I went for 40 home runs. You went for defense.
Yeah, Gold Glove.
All right.
Got to play short.
All right.
I got my shortstop.
So that's not bad. So I'm going to go relief pitcher here.
Ooh.
I think.
Okay.
Because I want a guy that's going to come in and can dominate. And I'm not going to go long reliever like Ian Kennedy. And this guy is on the relief pitcher and the closer list. So I'm about to mess you up right here.
Okay.
Because I'm taking Brad Hand as my relief pitcher.
Oh, damn you. All right. Fine. Do I want to go reliever? No. I'm gonna go third base. I'm gonna take Marwin Gonzalez.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, it is.
That's a good choice.
That's a real good choice by me. Even though it was tough. I was thinking about Pablo Sandoval.
Oh, that's not a bad thing.
Oh.
That's not a bad thing.
All right.
And man, I'm gonna mess you up again here. I'm
Thanks.
pretty sure because you weren't thinking straight on your relievers because it's the only position that is closer and relief pitcher here. And I'm just going straight for my starters are going 6, and then I'm throwing 3 innings here.
Okay.
So I already picked up Brad Hand, which isn't a bad pick.
No, it's a very good pick.
But I'm assuming how many left-handed bats do you have in your lineup? Because
I don't know.
I think I'm going
Moreland.
with Sean Doolittle.
Doolittle. Ah, dang it. Doolittle's money. All right, you got Doolittle. All right. Well, I need to get some relievers here. So, man, if you look on this list, there's about 100 to choose from. Man, there's some arms that I can't go wrong. But I think I'm going to go with Roberto Osuna.
Oh, not a bad choice.
Yeah.
And because you went reliever, I'm just going to go ahead and pick my closer before you pick him as a reliever, and I'm going to pick Mark Melanson.
Yeah, I'm okay. You can have Mark Melanson.
So
He's just a split guy.
So my relievers, right? Which I don't have to use them as they are. I've got Brad Hand, Sean Doolittle, and Mark Melanson. That is not a bad.
That's
bullpen.
not bad. That's not bad at all.
Bullpen.
That's not bad at all. So I do need some starting pitching, and
there's some good ones out there.
Yeah, so
you still got Jordan Zimmerman, Jeff Samardzija, Cole Hamels,
Yeah.
Jake Odorizzi, who I almost picked, Annabelle Sanchez, Julio Teheran, Gio Gonzalez, Brad Peacock, Rich Hill, Taijuan Walker, Ivan Nova, Felix Hernandez, Matt Harvey.
Yeah,
You take a chance on Matt Harvey?
No, I'm going Chris Archer.
Chris Archer.
Thank you very much.
How did I know what your pick was? I didn't name him. That was legit.
Yeah, thanks.
I did a good job right there.
You did. Very good job.
All right, so I probably need to bring in a first baseman. So should I pick Yonder Alonso? I think retired.
He retired.
I think he retired. And so in this first base list, we got Ryan Braun, we got Daniel Murphy, Travis Shaw, Eric Thames.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got some players. We got Jake Lamb.
You don't have Mitch Moreland because I do.
Yeah, and that's fine because I like guys that can run and play defense.
No, hit bombs.
But because I just want a guy that can hit bombs, and I'm probably going to hit him in the 7 spot, I'm picking Eric Thames.
Yep. Plus, he's the only guy that wears like a large shirt with extra large sleeves because he's huge.
Yeah, so I picked Eric Thames to come in and be my first baseman.
Yep. All right. So I need a right fielder.
Oh, man, there's some great right fielders left, people.
Yeah.
We've got Jay Bruce still on the list, Josh Reddick, Brian Goodwin, and John Jay. The guy that I thought about picking because he might be the best defensive outfielder in the game still, even though he's getting older, is Cameron Maben.
Yeah.
You still got Keon Broxton, Jorge Bonifacio, Travis Jankowski, who's just that nice guy that goes out and plays defense and runs the base as well.
No, I'm going to go with the veteran, the lefty that plays solid defense, in Josh Reddick.
Josh Reddick. God, man, he strikes out a lot.
That's right. My hitting coach is going to fix him.
So, on the strikeout that plays a little bit of defense, might play a little DH. In my left field spot, we still have a lot of players in left field,
God.
including Cespedes, who, if he was actually going to play, might get picked in this draft, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to get picked because he's not going to play.
Anybody's going to pick him up.
And Brett Gardner, who's somewhere around 38 years old, Jock Peterson, Matt Kemp's on this list, Jeff Decker is on the list. I left him on the list.
Attaboy.
Because he's a good dude from everything I can see. But my left fielder is Jock Peterson. I'm gonna because you got you got some right-handed pitchers in there. Chris Archer, Osuna, Trevor
Rosenthal.
Bauer. Yeah, you're all righty. So I get to play my power hitting left-handed bat in every game. So
Congratulations,
Jock Peterson.
Okay. All right. Well, now I'm going to go back to my starting pitching, and I'm going to go with the veteran, Cole Hamels.
Oh.
Yes.
How many innings do you think you're going to get from Cole Hamels?
Enough. Enough. I got my lefty who's just going to go out there and ding, 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 ding. He's going to work. He's going to be healthy. He's going to be perfect, actually. Might be Cy Young.
Might be Cy Young. Might be Cy Young. All right, so...
Wait, where's Cole Hamels from?
I think he's from this area.
Yes, he is.
That we live in San Diego County.
There's my lefty.
All right, so I am still missing a DH and a center fielder and a catcher. So since nobody picked the catcher yet, I have to pick the premier free agent left on the market, and that is JT Realmuto.
Okay.
And so still left on the catchers, we have Yadier Molina, who's Hoppy's going to pick.
Yes.
Wilson Ramos, Robinson Chirinos, Alex Avila, Matt Wieters, and there's about 25 other ones.
Yeah,
that we
Tony
don't have.
Walters is on that list, too.
Yeah.
He's a San Diego guy.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I am taking Molina, and I have an unbelievable team. My team's awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to discuss this after the fact. We'll go position by position and figure out where we're at. But all right, so I still have. I think I'm completely done with my pitchers.
No, I need a.
I'm done with my pitchers. So all I have left are a center fielder and a DH. So in center field, we have a lot of center fielders left. We got Kevin Pillar, Jake Marisnick, Gerard Dyson, Delino DeShields, Bonifacio, Billy Hamilton, who's great off the bench, but we're looking for starting players. So I'm gonna go get a veteran presence because not everybody can be a superstar, and I'm gonna get a guy that I know I can roll out there and make great plays, and that's Kevin Pillar.
Oh, okay, yeah, Dritty.
Fits into my gritty fireball and team. He's going to go out there. He's going to start a fight and take your team down.
Is that your team, the OTC Gritty Fireballers?
Yeah, that's my team, the Gritty Fireballers.
Yeah. All right. Well, I need to fill in a reliever, and this guy's also a closer, so I'm going to take Alex Colomé.
That's a good choice.
Yes, it is.
I was afraid that you would pick him.
Look at that. Take that.
Yeah, man. Our relievers are pretty good. So I got to get a DH, and I want a DH that can play outfield too. So on our DH list, it's pretty short. There's a guy I've never even heard of on here named Luke Montz. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
He's probably pretty good. But So I get to choose essentially between Shin-Soo Choo and Edwin Encarnacion.
Right.
Whew, this is a tough choice. Which way should I go here?
I would go Encarnacion.
That's what I was thinking
I mean,
too. I was thinking
yeah.
too.
Even though I do have a lot of
But
righties, you could go
Shin's-
Chew.
Chew bats leadoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm picking Encarnacion to have an amazing
Those
year.
30 jacks a year.
Yeah.
Man, I just love my team. Look at this. Solid. Veterans, gold gloves. Love it.
Are we done?
I think I'm done.
we're done.
Yeah. I think
All
I
right,
filled
so-
in all my spots.
So here, just a quick recap. So our goal here was to show you that you could essentially put two major league teams together that could compete for a championship.
Without a doubt.
So realistically, since we have a ton of starting pitchers, let's go to five before we
5
recap
starters?
it. Let's both pick 2 more starting
Okay.
pitchers. So this round, since you went first in the first round, I'll go first in this round.
Okay.
So there's so many starting pitchers left. I'm going to pick as my number 4 starter. I'm going to pick Taijuan Walker
Okay. Oops.
because he has a ton of upside.
Right. And I'm going to go to Rick Porcello.
Oh man, what a great pick!
Yeah. As a 4 or 5, Porcello's
Yeah.
money.
And then I want somebody that comes in and just can throw strikes and have a decent day every once in a while. There's a ton of great pitchers on here. Like I could take a chance on Felix Hernandez bouncing back at his age, but he can't get that stuff from the Giants keeper anymore. So I'm afraid that I can't do anything with him. So I'm just going to go with a serious veteran player that's legit, and I'm going to pick Gio Gonzalez
Oh, wow.
as my number 5 starter.
Yeah.
Because he could go out
Veteran
and,
lefty.
and just dominate in a 7-game series.
He's going to give you 5 solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I have, one more?
Yeah.
And this one's tough because I'm stuck between Jeff Samardzija and Jake Odorizzi.
Yeah, Odorizzi, I think, is a great pick here
Yeah.
for you.
And that is my pick.
Yeah, that's a good job.
Way to pick that.
I picked it for you. You're welcome. So I think we should pick another relief pitcher because, this list is pretty crazy of relief pitchers. It leaves, Ian Kennedy, David Robertson, Joaquin Soria, and Ken Giles are still on the list. Kinsler, Tyler Clipper, Darren O'Day, the veteran Oliver Perez.
Oliver Perez. Has been playing
Trevor
forever.
Cahill, who could come in and give you a bunch
Local
of
guy.
innings. Edison Volquez, who could give it. And
North County.
Juan Nicasio. Nick Vincent, the former Padre, and the sidearmer Steve Cechek.
Yeah, don't forget Derek Holland.
Oh, Derek Holland, too. So do you want to pick first on the relief, add in another relief pitcher?
Yeah, we can. And I'm going to go with Brandon Workman.
Oh, good choice. I didn't even name him off.
Yep. Brandon
choice.
Workman. Boston Philly.
And I need another guy that just can get out, so I'm going to pick Ken Giles.
Okay.
Another closer because I don't have
Okay.
enough closers. So we're good there. And do we want to pick one super sub out of the back of the sheet?
Okay,
And-
you're bench guy, huh?
Yeah, your bench guy.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. Oh wait, you took 4.
I mean, there's so many players left that
I
I,
know,
feel like we
I
just need
know.
to add to our rosters a little bit here.
Oh man, I want to go. Yeah. I'm gonna go with D. Gordon.
Oh, he was so on the top of my
D.
list.
Gordon. He's my pinch runner. He's my backup outfielder, second baseman type.
Yeah, so I was in the same thing here because you got Asdrubal Cabrera, Tommy La Stella, Jonathan Shoup. I was definitely looking second baseman here because of how versatile a lot of these second basemen are. But I want a guy that plays insane defense.
Uh-oh.
So I was going to go with a kind of a pick that's probably surprising. Because I'm going to pick Freddie Galvis.
That's the dude. That I didn't know if I was going D. Gordon or Freddie Galvis. I love Freddie.
Yeah.
When he was with the Padres, it's good for him that he went off and did good things, but he played really well for the Padres.
Yeah, and so because we're rounding out our team and we both picked another infielder, let's pick a reserve outfielder or DH for a bench guy. Because even though we don't we're playing American League ball with a DH, we might need to, have a bench player.
Yeah.
And from that plays in the outfield. So let's pick a bench player.
Okay.
And do you want to pick first? Because
Well, I went last time, so
I know,
I'll
but
let you.
because
Because I already know who I'm going to go with.
you do.
Yes.
Oh,
I already know.
that kind of caught me off guard.
Well, I'm on it.
Oh,
I'm on it.
man, you are.
And there was two. There was two. Again, I'm just going off a speed defense.
Folks, what would you pick for your reserve outfielder? 'Cause there's
Off the cup, quick check.
there are so many players here. I'm not sure who to pick, but you know what? I'm picking Emilio Bonifacio
Oh, wow. Bonifacio, that guy.
because
That's a great name.
He's got, if I remember correctly, he's got great speed.
Mm-hmm.
He can bunt a little bit, and he runs down the ball in the outfield.
Yeah. And because I want somebody that can run the ball down the outfield,
Hoppy picks Travis Jankowski.
no, Cameron Maben.
Oh, that's a great pick.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Cameron, I just wish he hit consistently, but you know what? He's my pinch runner again. He can play center field. He can play Gold Glove center field if he's just consistently hitting. But I think as times wears on, he's going to be okay for me.
Yeah. So let's go through our picks here.
Wow.
We'll start with starting pitching. I had 4 starting pitchers. So my or 5 starting pitchers, sorry.
Yeah.
So my starting pitching staff of free agents. Now, we put together 2 teams here, folks.
2 teams.
So my starting pitching staff is Jake Arrieta, Masahiro Tanaka, James Paxton, Gio Gonzalez, and Taiwan Walker.
That's pretty damn good. Dude.
Okay, that pitching staff is better than 80% of the pitching staffs in Major League Baseball as starters.
Yep. And then you get to my staff,
Yeah, bring it.
which is the veteran Cole Hamels, Jake Odorizzi, fireballer, drive line guy, Trevor Bauer, Rick Porcello, and Chris Archer.
That's not a bad staff. I like mine a little better than yours, but I like yours because you got the top line guys and you got some guys that fill it out.
I got my veteran and I got the number 1 free agent.
All right, let's talk. So, any teams out there? We just picked 10 starting pitchers that should be essentially a number 1 through 3 on any pitching staff in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
That are still free agents.
You can fill holes with our 10 guys.
Yeah. So let's go through our relief pitchers that are essentially setup guys. Okay. Why don't you go first?
All right. So I got Alex Colomé, Roberto Ozuna, and Brandon Workman.
That's not a bad.
Those are arms, man.
Yeah. So
Those are arms.
Those are guys that can go out and get you 3 outs anytime you want.
Yep.
And my relief pitchers are Ken Giles, Brad Hand, and Sean Doolittle.
That's pretty damn good.
That's 3
dude.
closers.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
And then when we go to the closers, I picked a guy that probably would be a reliever on this staff, but he has been dominant in the past, and that's Mark Melanson.
Yep. And then I got Trevor Rosenthal.
So 2 closers and 3 relief pitchers that essentially would be the guy on any team, and they're still free agents.
It's crazy.
So there's a good chance that
Let's go GMs.
out of all of these pitchers, some of these guys are going to get minor league deals and invites to camp.
Some of them
or
won't.
or they'll just sit out.
They'll sit and wait and wait
Until
and wait
somebody gets
until somebody
injured.
gets hurt, and then they'll get picked up.
But it's just amazing.
Yep.
So first, let's hit the catcher. So we're going to go to the bottom
Okay.
right hand corner first. So the catching list was still pretty strong. We each got a starting catcher.
Mm-hmm. I went with the veteran.
He went with the veteran Yadier Molina because I picked JT Realmuto first.
That's pretty
And
good.
essentially, you still have some backup catchers on the list. So
Yeah.
you still have, Matt Wieters, Tony Walters, who was a starter.
Do we have to? You want to pick? You want to pick a backup?
No, that's not. We don't need to pick a backup.
I'd
I
go
just
Walters.
want to talk. Yeah, that's a good one. And I'd probably go Matt Wieters just for the veteran presence and the guy that might come off the bench and hit a jack in a pinch. So yeah, we'll mark them off because we're here. So
All right. Yeah.
but essentially,
Walters.
there are starting catchers, basically 3 or 4 starting catchers left that you can plug into your lineup that are veteran guys that could be your starter.
Definitely.
On to first base, where first base was probably the weakest group of players out of all the groups because you don't know what you're going to get from Ryan Braun or Daniel Murphy. And it kind of Jake Lamb could be a
Well,
starter.
CJ Crone.
Yeah.
That was one of mine. I was like, okay, or Travis Shaw.
Yeah, but they're not the guy that that's gonna
Right.
beat out whoever you have at first
Right.
base. So I went with Eric Thames because I wanted the big power bat.
Yep,
and
and
you went with the doubles.
I went with the doubles and the solid glove at first with Mitch Moreland.
Yep. And so moving on to second base, where there was just a ton of guys. You had D. Gordon, Jed Lowry, Howard Kendrick's in the list. I think he retired. Jonathan Shoup, Tommy LaStella, there's Drupal Cabrera, Jason Kipnis, and Logan
I like
Forsythe are in this
I like
list.
Kipnis.
But Hoppy went with Greg Garcia as the starting second
Yep.
baseman because he loves the little San Diego slapper.
And he's going to hit 300.
No, he's not.
Yeah, yes, he's going to hit
And
300.
I went with the veteran Gold Glover of Colton Wong.
Yep.
And then Hoppy also picked up to be his backup infielder / outfielder D. Gordon, which is a great choice.
It is a great choice.
And then at third base, there was a pretty big list of third basemen, and there's a guy on this list that I probably, if I had another backup pick, I'd be picking Maikel Franco as my backup infielder. But you also had Jan Solarte, Jed Jerko on this list, the Panda, Chase Darno, Eric Sogard, and Todd Frazier. Hoppy, who was your pick at third base?
I went with Marwin Gonzalez.
A great pickup, could start for most teams. And I went with Justin Turner, who's been linked to a few teams, but it'd be interesting. He's a veteran. I think he's like 37 or
36, yeah.
And but he still had a great year last year, and he's a team leader. He's a vocal leader on
he
the
is.
team. So I wanted to make sure I had that veteran
And he can
presence.
also DH if you need to.
Yeah, he can be the DH. And for me, my backup could come in and play real quick. So moving on to shortstop, I went with a guy that plays pretty good defense, but still could hit me 30 homers. I went with Didi Gregorius. I didn't think I could go wrong there with the
No. That's a great pickup.
And I'm probably going to bat him in the leadoff spot, so he's going to see some fastballs.
There you go. And I went with the four-time Gold Glove winner, Alderson Simmons, which I don't know what the Angels are doing.
I don't know how he's still a free agent.
I mean, he's legit. And he started to pick up the bat a little bit, and that was always his knock.
Yeah.
Gold Glove, shortstop, and he's going to hit 250.
Who's better?
There's nobody.
Well, not in the
this
free
list?
agents, but like in Major League Baseball, there's only a handful of shortstops that are better than Simmons.
Right.
So it's just
And they're superstars.
yeah, you're talking Tatis.
Yeah.
You're talking Seager.
Right. You're telling me he wouldn't be awesome in Arizona? He wouldn't be awesome in Cincinnati? I mean, how do you have and he's current. He's a current Gold Glove. I mean,
yeah, and he's not 35 years old, so he's still in his prime.
Yeah, so maybe his asking price is too much, but I don't know. But I mean, he's going to pick it for me at short.
Yeah, and we still had like Marcus Simeon, Hechavarria, Ruben Tejada. There's still some good shortstops that could provide depth.
Freddie Galvis.
Yeah,
all day.
Well, he's my guy. He's my backup guy.
I know.
So
I loved him though.
Moving on to left field, where there were some great choices like Cespedes and Brett Gardner, Matt Kemp, who could DH for you. I'm not sure why he ended up in left field and not on the DH list. But Hoppy, you went with a good one.
I went with Ozuna
Yeah,
because
you
I
went
love
with
that bat.
You went with the bat. That was a good choice, and he can mix in a DH. And I went with the bat too because you had all right-handed pitchers. I went with Jock Peterson.
Yeah, 220 with 40 jacks.
Yeah, and in the 8 spot in my lineup.
There you go.
And at center field, I thought you made a good choice here. Another guy that I'm surprised isn't signed, and that's Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah,
Sorry,
another
amateur
Gold Glove
player
winner,
for me,
and a guy that is playoff clutch. He's playoff clutch, and his bat seems to get better every year. Jackie Bradley Jr. Love it.
Yeah, and I went with Kevin Pillar as my starting center fielder. I think he's been buried in San Francisco. People don't even know he still plays baseball.
No, he's going to be good.
Yeah, but you get him out of that stadium, I think his bat's going to come back, and he'll run through a wall to make a play. So
Gritty.
I wanted for the gritty fireballers. I wanted Kevin Pillar, and then also in center field was my backup outfielder. I went with Emilio Bonifacio because I wanted some speed. In right field. Kind of another small group of players we not picked were Jay Bruce, Nomar Mazzara, Brian
John
Goodwin,
Jay,
Domingo Santana, Jankowski, Jorge Bonifacio, yada yada yada. And I like your pick here.
Josh Reddick.
A lot of strikeouts, but good defense.
Yeah, like I said, my hitting coach is going to pick him.
And I went with the opt out, opt in, opt out of Nick Markakis, who managed to walk off of not playing and just come in and
go back to the playoffs.
Yeah,
and didn't skip a beat.
It looked like he'd been playing the whole time. He
Right.
just walked in and just hit. And
Yeah.
I've never been a big Nick Markakis fan, but that was pretty impressive to me.
No, I was digging it. And he'll sign a contract. I mean, he's not asking the world. Even when he signed with the Braves, he didn't ask for the world. He just wanted to play.
Yeah.
You know?
Veteran guy.
And then my backup outfielder is from the right field with Cameron Maben.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great choice. That
It
guy
is.
plays defense. I never understood, I'm not in the clubhouse, but I never understood how he just wasn't on a team forever. I don't
Yeah.
understand how he bounced
No,
around.
I mean,
because everybody wants him, but nobody wanted to keep him.
Right. And when they first really started coming out with these defensive matrix, he was the number one in range. I mean, the guy's he can run and he gets the balls that guys don't. So another guy that if he just figured out and got consistent with his bat would be an everyday starter.
Yeah, and his defense is a game changer.
Yeah. I mean, arm strength, range. I mean, he tracks down stuff. Just consistency with the bat. That seemed to be the issue.
I think he'd be a great pickup for a team like the Padres that needs a late inning guy, to play left field. Because you got a left fielder that doesn't throw very well, and you get to the eighth inning, you've got a 1-run lead. You don't lose a lot with the bat. You do have some strikeouts there, but the defense when the 1-run game is so important.
In the ninth inning, if you're up one, you have no problem having Cameron Maben in center field for you.
Oh, I'm just saying you don't even need him in center. I'm saying left.
Well, he can play. I mean, he's a center fielder.
I know.
I mean, he's got wheels. So
Yeah, he's a great player. And
Yeah.
then on the DH side, we didn't have much to choose from. The only guy that we didn't really pick was Shin-Soo Choo. But Hoppy, I really like your pick here.
Nelson Cruz
Yeah, he's not bad, even though he's like 57 years old.
still rakes.
Yeah, he's reminding me of Julio Franco.
Right?
He's gonna hit till he's 45.
Hey, as long as he can swing it, man.
Yeah, keep getting laser surgeries on your eyes,
There
whatever
you
you need
go.
to do.
Do it.
Just to stay in the game. And then I went with the perennial third baseman, Edwin Encarnacion.
Well, I am ecstatic about my ball club. I cannot wait to go out and win games.
Yeah, and we're considering throwing these teams as is into a fantasy league and see how the season goes.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, I think we should consider,
Just
take
a 2-team league.
a 2-team league with, and we'll fill out our rosters. We'll finish out the roster picks
That'd be great.
based on what this is, and we'll roll with it. And if somebody doesn't get signed, or they
Just
won't be on there.
pick somebody else.
Yeah, and I think we might have to do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and then we'll track the progress and see how our team's free
General
agents do,
manager.
for the
Hoppy.
rest of the year. But so those were our all free agent teams. You could easily put two
Major league competitive teams.
better than competitive, probably pretty close to playoff caliber teams together, barring injuries. With this group of players that were just picked.
I'm digging it.
Yeah, and I'm hoping everybody liked it. So I'm pretty sure if you really enjoy our podcast, if you're still here. But you made a comment earlier. You were talking about Hank Aaron. That reminded me of something that happened when we got to play together on an independent team in Saskatoon, and about a guy. You were talking about Hank Aaron playing cards with the relief pitcher. What about the epic ping pong game with Daryl Boston?
Daryl Boston is probably the best ping pong player on the planet that nobody knows about. He controlled the room, and you have to understand there was like 30 guys in there, and everyone was king of the table. You stay, you win, and Boston, he was there the entire, and he just smoked people. And here you are, you're playing ping pong with a dude who's been in the big leagues, and you're that whole mentality of the competitiveness, the fun. I didn't feel like, we
We were just guys, and
guys.
Even better, Daryl Boston wasn't on our team. This was a rain delay. Like, he came into the clubhouse and just hung out with the guys. He's retired Major League Baseball. He's just playing out his career, playing in the independent league,
having fun.
Yeah, as a big leaguer on a team, and he just comes in and we're just playing ping pong with Daryl Boston.
Yeah. And he goes, "Hey, can I play?"
Sure.
Yeah, didn't know you were really good. Thanks.
I was no longer king of the table.
Like, okay. I got to score one.
But it also made you see what real hand-eye coordination looked like from a Major League Baseball player. but that's the thing, right? You see people on TV and you have an impression, but you don't really know them. And then when you get a chance to meet them, sometimes they're amazing.
Yeah. And, being quote unquote famous, you get these perceptions and you judge people, but they're people. There's that other side of the professional athlete, and then they go home, and they got families. And unless you've been in that locker room and got to hang out with people and to get to know who they really are, the perception is like, oh, well, they're rich and everything's great, and but they're human, and they have that other element that when you get to know them, you're like, this is a great guy.
Yeah.
Or
he's a person.
Or this guy's a jerk. One of the two.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where, it's fun to think about. It's like, oh, I wonder what it's like to live his life. Well, newsflash, it's probably just like your life at home. Maybe it might be a nicer house. Yeah, the bank account's bigger and you can go do something. But they have the same emotions, the same feelings as everybody.
Yeah.
And when you think of Hank Aaron, and what he brought to baseball, and then you see what he did outside the game. Probably, you can't say his accomplishments on the field weren't phenomenal.
No, but the accomplishments off the field that came after are probably more important.
Yes.
And they were, even though they were maybe enabled by the fact that he was more famous because he played baseball, but it seems like he was such a good person that the accomplishments after probably were more important because of he was able to change and help people in their daily lives.
Oh yeah, when you can use that benefit of being the all-time home run leader and the face of an organization and the face of baseball, and you can utilize that to make change and to benefit people, that's really the ultimate goal, is to take my clout and say, look, this needs to change, or we can do this better, or let me set up this organization to help this group of people. And it's lifelong. It's lifelong changing, And, is there ever going to be another Hank Aaron that makes such a big change in baseball and outside of baseball?
I think there probably is, and there are right now, but you just don't know about them because they weren't Hank Aaron famous. So there's there's tons of great people in the world that are doing amazing things that we just don't know about. And I think one of the most important things I learned from baseball, and I was lucky to learn it early on, is that the people that you see on TV that you idolize, they're just people, so you shouldn't idolize them. You should treat them as people. And that was something that I had the opportunity to learn pretty young, because I had opportunities to meet some people that were superstars, heroes, idols. And it was, once you learn that people are people, it makes it easier to realize that what you have is important, no matter what you achieve or don't achieve, because when it comes down to it, everybody is important.
Yeah. And it also, why can't I do that?
Yeah, you can.
You can't, I'll never be that good, or I'll never be that.
Yeah,
you can.
You just got to do it.
Yeah, you just got to say, okay, I'm going to work my ass off, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and make yourself great. I wasn't blessed with a ton of talent, but I was blessed with a heart that said, let's do this.
Right, and every once in a while you run into an obstacle that can't be overcome, and then you have to shift and figure out something else.
Yeah,
but
forks in the road, man.
You should never, ever give up on a dream. You should always work hard to achieve it.
Yeah, and it is possible.
It
is. Nothing's unachievable. Well, nothing's unachievable in your mind.
Right. You can always work towards it. So we were talking before the podcast, and this will give you a little insight. We've known each other for a really long time, and we were just talking about, as kids, I think our younger selves would be really proud of us for having this show.
Yeah.
Like this show right here is something you dream about when you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
At least we did.
I can remember taking tape and putting it over the cassette and then recording me doing a sports cast and a weather cast, and and then playing it back and go, man, it would be so cool if I was on it, because my dad was in broadcasting, and I'm like, that would be so awesome, and I would pretend I would play, and then here we are, 35 years later.
Yeah, we always talked about doing a specific style of announcing of baseball games.
Yeah,
and I don't want to say it because maybe we'll get to do it someday. And
let's do it.
It's something that's not done today, but we talked about it, and we're kind of on that pace, and it's pretty amazing because who would have thought we would have thousands of people watching us talk about sports.
Yeah,
and believe it or not, it's thousands, which is just blows my mind because we've only done this for 30 episodes and we really haven't promoted it a lot.
No.
So thank you to everybody out there.
Yeah. And thank you for making us go global.
Yeah. And just back on the celebrity sports heroes or people thing. I know one day you met somebody in a Jamba Juice and it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I saw you make a post on Facebook about a birthday this last week.
Yeah. Magic Johnson. Ran into him, and he's ordering, and I'm like, hey, it's Magic Johnson, right? And he orders, and he comes back, and I go, and it's just when he became part of the ownership group of the Dodgers, I go, hey, congratulations, with the Dodgers. Oh, thanks, man. Shook my hand. First of all, his hands are like huge, right? I felt like a baby
hands.
Yeah. And I said, would you mind if we get a picture? Oh, yeah, no problem. So we take a picture, right? And so it's like 3 months later, go back to Jamba Juice, and I walk in, and I see Leia. I go, hey, is Magic been in? She goes, oh, no, not yet. Right? Sure enough. Here comes Magic Johnson. And I'm like, no way. This is crazy. So, of course, hey, how's it going? So now it's like a year later. Go back in and go, hey, is Magic been in? Oh, not yet. I said, well, I'm going to be next door getting bagels. Let him know that Hoppy's looking for him. Go next door to get bagels. Next thing you know, here comes Magic Johnson walking into the bagel shop. Goes, somebody looking for me? I'm like, Magic, what's up? And he looks at me, and maybe he doesn't. So I tell him the story. He goes, "Oh, we need to take another picture. Take another picture." And you just realize these guys do the same things you do. I mean, I get Jamba Juice at the same place as Magic Johnson. I get bagels, but just that interaction. He goes, "Oh yeah," and you're like, "Ooh, you remembered me? Okay, great." But I mean, first of all, that story is amazing.
That's a legit story. That's a Hoppy story.
It's my favorite story of all time. But they're people too, So just fun being part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I might have talked about this on the podcast before, but when we were in Florida for a soccer tournament, a really big one, about a little over a year ago, and in the hotel, we're in the hotel doing what you do, just hanging out in the hotel. The kids are having a party, and Natrone Means happened to be there. Struck off a conversation with Natrone Means and former San Diego Chargers superstar running back. And the next day, we were at the fields, and my daughter happened to be playing on the same field the next game after Natrone's daughter, and we started chatting again because now we know each other and just hanging out with Natrone Means. Yeah. Because he's a real person.
Daddy Natrone.
And when you're in a normal setting, you talk to people.
Yeah.
He's just a person. He's an awesome person. He seemed great. His wife and family were wonderful. I met everybody. It's like we were friends forever. It was great because they're people.
Right.
And I didn't, go up to him when he had a piece of lettuce in his mouth when he was eating. We were just hanging out in the little area where you get drinks and stuff, you know? And it's really important to know that they're people, and it's hard not to idolize somebody because of what they do, whether it be a movie star or a sports hero or a politician or whatever. But when it comes down to it, they're just people.
Yeah.
And if you treat people with the same respect you treat anybody else, and they'll treat you the same way for the most part.
That's deep, man.
Yeah.
That's
so,
deep.
Oh, with that, what time is it? Don't even say it.
I think it's time to sign off.
Yeah, I think it is time to sign off.
All right. With that one there, folks, we're out of here. Woo!